Today, we have a very unique perspective on music, art, and poetry and their impact on our moods and emotions. And who can do this better than our very own Sandhya Srivatsan? As you all know, she wears many hats and is well known in Toronto for all of them. She is a professional South Indian classical musician and has performed on numerous stages. She's also an educator and the artistic director of Gaanavarshini, where she has trained and shaped many a budding artist. She's also a certified gerontologist from Ryerson University. She put all this learning to good use in her pilot music project for seniors at the Sheridan Elder Research Center, Oakville, and in her course for seniors called Appreciation of Indian Classical Music at the Ryerson University. So today, backed by her great knowledge and her rich experience, Sandhya, along with a fantastic team of artists, has put together a very informative and a very enjoyable event. So let's not waste any more time. And over to you, Sandhya Srivatsan, and show us how to create a creative life.
Hi everyone. I just have one announcement to make. This is Sulochana Krishnamurthy, President of Handicare International. I welcome you all for today's program. Really looking forward to a great program. I request all of you to keep your videos on. So that will be like an interactive session instead of Sandhya speaking to a blank screen. I'm sure she would like to see all of you. Plus, I would like to see all of you as well. So please keep the videos on as much as you can. Thank you so much and enjoy the program.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Mrs. Geeta Shankaran, for that very warm and kind welcome. I truly appreciate what you had to say about me. First, I would like to acknowledge the land that I'm joining from today, which is the territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit. I would like to say that even if we are immigrants, we are still settlers on their land. I consider it an honor and a privilege to be invited by Mrs. Sulo Krishnamurthy, the dynamic founder of Handicare International, to present my ideas of creative ways of living through music, arts, and poetry. We as Indo-Canadians are extremely fortunate to be associated with Handicare International and are very proud of Mrs. Sulo for all her achievements through selfless work to help differently abled children and youth. Thank you, Handicare, for giving me this opportunity once again. For those of you who are unaware, June is celebrated as Seniors Month in Ontario. This year's theme is Stay Safe, Active, and Connected. So I would therefore like to begin my presentation this evening by expressing my gratitude to the seniors in our Indo-Canadian community. They've inspired and guided us in settling into the new environs of Canada, which is vastly different from our country of origin. So now let's look at the overview of the presentation that is in store for you today. Next slide, please. So as a gerontologist, it's with great pleasure that I share my creative experiences with seniors whom I've interacted with for the past 15 years. I know that the attendees in this call are diverse with respect to age demographics, and so I've planned an intergenerational program. This would help me make you understand the holistic way of living through creativity. Some housekeeping rules. Please remain muted at all times during the entire program. If you feel an emotion after a particular performance, please down, and at the end during the Q&A, you could share your inputs. Feel free to also drop in your thoughts in the chat box that is provided, whichever is convenient for you, because I understand there are many seniors also in the call. So next, so what you see in the presentation is, first I will be highlighting how we can have creativity in life, what's the importance of it, then music as a universal healing tool, then there'll be art and poetry presentations, then Carnatic music performances. And you know what? I don't want to let all the surprises out of the bag. So let's move on to the slide 3, please. So when you talk about importance of creativity, the word creativity in a broad sense refers to the production of something both novel and useful within a given social context. In the race to reach our goals, achieve our dreams, the left brain thinking can take over. Most people know that the left side of the brain is the thinking side. It analyzes situations, takes logical actions to solve problems. But an imbalance happens when we spend too much time in this and not enough time to engage with the right side. The right is a part of us that loves music, art, and nature, but is often squashed by our day-to-day needs. So the key to living harmoniously is using both sides of the brain. Creativity are of two different types, deliberate and spontaneous. Deliberate creativity, let me give you an example. I tried several titles for today's presentation, and after much thinking and brainstorming with the organizers, I hit upon the title, Creative Living with Music, Art, and Poetry. That is deliberate. Now, spontaneous creative process often takes place in a state of flow. If you have a knowledge base that you can pull from and do something creative on the fly. For example, Carnatic musician, they improvise on the spot, in the flow of the moment. The imagination of a raga swarupa comes out alive through they pull in it from their knowledge base. So according to Dr. Rex Jung, who is a neuropsychologist, brain imaging researcher, and clinical professor of neurosurgery at the University of New Mexico, he says that the creativity is a type of problem solving. It is important that we foster it. He says creativity is fundamental survival characteristic that allows humans to reason in very important ways, especially in situations that have not been encountered previously. If each one of us reflect within ourselves, we have been creative in finding solutions to endure this pandemic in very small ways within our own homes. We don't call it creativity, that's all. But creative solutions are also helpful in coping mechanisms and adaptations to extreme situations as well. So if you look at Zoom itself, Zoom helped the creative minds to have music, dance, arts, and poets online to keep us safe at home while yet being connected, which is so very important. Creativity in music, arts, and poetry helps in leading a harmonious way of life. Creative living gives you the right to respect all around you while you pursue your trajectory in line with your beliefs and goals. Next slide, please. So here you have creative aging, and I've given you a picture here. What exactly is creative aging? But before that, the older adult population can be divided into 3 life stage subgroups. The young old, approximately 65 to 74 years, the middle old, ages 75 to 84, and the old over the age of 85. So a person who retires has a different set of issues to a senior who is 80 plus. So when one approaches retirement, lots of questions loom in the mind. It's very important to plan how one utilizes their time on hand after retirement. It's not just financial planning. There are many adults on the Zoom call who are approaching retirement, I know. So they can educate further, follow and pursue an art, volunteer, have meaningful grandparenting strategies to lead a good quality of life in retirement. This planning helps one have a sense of living with a purpose, and that living with purpose leads to joy. So, for example, we have it right in front of us here. We have Mrs. Sulok Krishnamurthy and the Vice President, Mrs. Geeta Shankaran. They work for the same organization for decades, and they have maintained healthy, fulfilling relationship through their joint efforts of volunteerism. So sustaining meaningful relationships is as important as we can avoid feeling isolated, which is a common complaint as seniors age. According to researchers from Queen Margaret University, Edinburgh, who experimented with recent retirees in the UK, The need to feel challenged and stimulated was paramount for the feelings of well-being among the participants. The feeling of belonging to a community was considered important and could be derived from creative arts activities. Psychological and social benefits of arts participations were derived from active participation, and a sense of fulfillment was expressed by the participants in the research study. Dr. Jean Cohen, a pioneer in the field of geriatric psychiatry, devoted much of his life researching and exploring the relationship between aging and creativity. He urged older people and their families to engage in creative activities, arguing that science had shown that such activities lead people to longer, healthier, and good quality of life. Researchers have found that various creativity styles of living were associated with intrinsic motivation, that is, a love of creating for the sake of creating and not for external rewards. So I have planned today's program to help you understand that life can be as creative as it can be, provided you make the effort to do so. Next slide, please. So what does music mean to you? I would take this moment to ask everyone to pen their thoughts or even write it in the chat box. So music is one such fine art that once you get attached to it, there is no looking back. Your focus, attention to detail, concentration, and scope for connecting the dots in life improve tremendously. Music therapy is a growing subject and of great interest to practitioners of the art form. Processing of musical information by the brain is very complex. Music affects our neurological, physiological, and motor responses. So when I have provided music sessions for many seniors at nursing homes, it was an incredible experience for me to see the clients, especially who are wheelchair bound, not able to stand without support, but trying to get up to react and appreciate the music that is being sung. So music as a science decreases anxiety, tensions, and reduces pain by increasing the secretion of endorphins from the nerve cells. As an art, it gives the aesthetic and anesthetic effect, relieving all pains in life that life has imposed on us. So all forms of vocal music, singing, devotional, chanting, humming, reciting, everything is therapeutic. So we believe, for example, in our culture, in our Indian tradition especially, that the baby shower, the Seemandam as they call it, it's so important to play the veena on that occasion because it helps the baby in the womb as well as the pregnant mother to bear the stress and the physical pain throughout the pregnancy. Music at every function is meaningful. Take the Nadaswaram, the Shahnais at weddings. You take the music at harvest festival, during Pongal, and even during shopping at Christmas. So it makes you shop more. So it brings in a mood of happiness for those fleeting moments of living. The sounds of the tambura sets in the mood for giving a sense of rest to the numerous thoughts that goes in our minds. I've experienced that numerous times. During my research on effects of music on moods, the seniors at the Sheridan Elder Center, they expressed immense calm when they just heard the tambura. It was not even I didn't even sing a song. I just played the tambura for a few minutes, and that had a profound effect. On the other hand, when I played some Celtic music, one of the participants in the research asked me to stop it almost immediately because she felt as if it was scratching noise, the sound which you do it on the wall sometimes, which, it makes you cringe. So every musical experience is very, it's based on the individual, what their likes are, how they grew up with, what they liked. So music therapy is clinically proven method for regulating emotions and managing even anger. So the scope of music to heal us and help us recover is just too tremendous. And I'm not going to talk more about this. So we are going to go to the next slide, please. So music is creative, calming, non-intrusive. It helps you in reminiscing. It helps you in pain management. It helps you in anger management. Okay, so we'll go on to the next slide, which is art and poetry. An artist paints according to their intuitions. Some painters, they keep a visual image of a bird or a landscape, and some do abstract painting. In all these scenarios, there is a common thread of creativity. They express their feeling, thoughts through the medium of art, of paint. In India, there are so many artists adopting different mediums and equipments to paint, the kalamkari and so on and so forth, Tanjavur painting, and we are going to see the Kerala mural, which Dev is going to present soon. In our Indian literature, we have numerous kinds of poetry in different languages. Every language has a unique flair and charm to it. You cannot just transliterate it. Creating poems is a way of putting your thoughts, emotions, and deep sense of hurt as well on paper. It gives you the scope to choose the words that depict your emotional state of mind. Creativity is important in writing poems as you have to choose the right words that fit into the theme of the poem. Imagine the kind of creative minds we as Indo-Canadians have with such diverse languages. It's so very important. So those young participants on the call, it's very important to hone your respective mother tongues in order to articulate your feelings from the heart. It comes in very handy. Today, Pavani will be sharing some of the unique kind of English poems that she has dealt with in her school. So we'll do that later. And now I'll just move on to the slides where, can you move it on to slide 8? Yeah. So you see the pictures of the personalities. Some of them are alive, some of them have left the planet as well. So actors, respected leaders across the world who made an impact, politicians who wrote poetry to keep their sanity. So you have these images. And these images, what do they convey? That music, art, and you can go to the next slides also, Sudha. Thank you. So these images convey that music, art, and poetry are vital to lead a life filled with fulfillment and a sense of purpose. Let each one of us give a thought as to how creativity in life can help us age gracefully and lead a better quality of life. So on that note, this part of the talk, that educative talk that I mentioned, comes to an end. And because I always say this, life is a complex mathematical problem with different solutions, which may be right or wrong, but with no single proof to prove the theorem called life. I just suggested my perspective on how creative aspects of living could make a difference in our perspective, in our respective journeys called life. So with that, I come to the end of my presentation, and now starts the fun part, where I'm sure all of you are eagerly waiting for this, where the music begins. So before I go into that, I think I have to read some of the, Geeta Auntie, can I ask you to read from the chat, please, if you can?
I'm not allowed to start the video, so but you can hear my voice. We had a lot of interesting responses to what music does. Sorry, now I can start my video. Very nice answers. Sorry, I cannot catch up names. It went very fast, but Alana said escape to utopia. A lot of people mentioned calmness, stress relief, source of relaxation. Sham Datta had a take on that. He said, a way to give happiness and peace with unique sounds. And they had a way of expressing feelings, meditation, increased concentration and focus. And Sahana said it represents life stories.
Wow, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. That's so nice to get such a varied perspective from young talents out there as well. So the first genre of music that we will be listening to is devotional, which is a semi-devotional piece. Giridhara Gopala. Alana is a high school student who's going to graduate from high school, and she'll be joining University of Waterloo soon for her undergraduate degree. She's passionate about music and dance. She's volunteered extensively in Mississauga and has been a volunteer for the pandemic support during the past academic year as well. So over to Alana.
I want to thank Handicare and all the organizers for Handicare for this wonderful opportunity. And I'm so excited to be able to sing this very classic song in the Meera movie, sung by Carnatic musician M.S. Subbulakshmi. Giridhara Gopala Giridhara Gopala Bala Giridhara Gopala Bala Giridhara Gopala Bala Giridhara Gopala Bala Giridhara Gopala Shyamala Sharira Kaustubhara Pitambaradara Prabho Murari Shyamala Sharira Kaustubhara Pitambaradara Prabho Murari Giridhara Gopala Bala Giridhara Gopala Nanda Sukumara Manamohanakara Brindavanachara Tulasi Hara Nanda Sukumara Manamohanakara Brindavanachara Tulasi Hara Giridhara Gopala Bala Giridhara Gopala Giridhara Gopala Kamsavidhara Meeramanasa Sarovihara Giridhara Gopala Kamsavidhara Meeramanasa Sarovihara Giridhara Gopala Bala Giridhara Gopala Thank you.
That was wonderful, Alana. You really stepped up to the plate and you really did a wonderful job. Thank you so much for that. If Sulu Auntie is there on the call, I would like to ask her a question, if she's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
So what memories went through your mind as you heard this particular song, which was, it was such an important song in those days because Meera attained an immortal status for two reasons: the movie, the presence of MS, and the songs that she rendered. So music for the soul and stirring songs that have lived for decades, right? Which was composed by S.V. Venkatraman itself. So what were your thoughts?
Well, first of all, your student did really well. Congratulations to both the student and the teacher. Sweet voice and perfectly rendered. She had so much bhavam, that is, the emotion was coming through, like the bhakti emotion, the bhakti aspect. That's another aspect of music. Through music, we can express the bhakti, enhance the bhakti, and feel it and take it to higher levels. And I think that's exactly what your student did. It was very nice.
Oh, thank you so much. We're really blessed to hear that. Thank you so much, Auntie. So we move on to the next performance. When we talk about Western music, right? So when we talk about that, there are so many songs that, come to our mind. And one such song is what Pratiksha is going to sing. So if you can spotlight Pratiksha, that would be great. Pratiksha Satish was born in Canada and started learning music from a very young age, at the age of 5. She began learning with me in Mississauga, Ontario. And after moving to Texas in 2017, she's been continuing with Srimati Rajeshwari Bhatt. She also started training with Sri Venkatachalam Mama since the beginning of 2020. She's a junior at Round Rock High School and is a proud member of the school's choir. She's passionate about music and keen on specializing in music in the future. So now she will be ready, because this particular song will really make everyone feel very happy. I promise you that. Over to Pratiksha. Rock it.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
That's such a sweet song. Don't you all agree? Yeah? So, Pratiksha, these are a few of my favorite things after that song. What are your favorite things about this particular song?
Well, particularly this song, I love how joyful and energetic it is, and it's also been a song that's been going throughout my childhood because both my parents are very big fans of The Sound of Music. So it's a song that I've listened to a lot.
Okay, so that's wonderful, and you made full justice to this song. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank
So
you.
a question for the audience, and you can answer it in the chat box. Name the main actors in the movie Sound of Music. So please do share your thoughts. I'll repeat the question. Name the main actors in the movie Sound of Music. And also pen your thoughts. What came to your mind when you listened to this beautiful Western classical piece? Now we go on to the next person, the participant. This genre is from India. Folk music is something which is so very important, and it has lent itself so well for the good of people who live even in the rural areas. That's a way of living for them. So I would like to introduce Pavani. Pavani is a 6th grade student in the gifted program at Oakville in Canada. She's passionate about singing bhajans, Indian and Western songs. As a student of Gaanavarshini, Pavani performs at various community events in Canada and has also developed keen interest in writing books. So creativity out there. So she learns Bharatanatyam from Sampradaya Dance Academy and learns to play the piano as well. So let's listen to some real good folk music.
Thanks, India.
Yeah.
There is some technical issues, so we have to move to the next one.
Okay. Can I just see if Pavani's parents have the thing to share it? Is that okay? If you give her the co-host. Pavani, do you have the video which you can play?
No, Auntie, sorry. I don't have the video with me right now.
Okay. Can you sing it?
Right now, live?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Please switch on your tambura.
I don't have it.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. You sing it for whatever it is. Go for it, girl.
Madeva, 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 Madeva. ಸೋಜುಗಾದ ಸೂಜುಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ದುಂಡು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸೋಜುಗಾದ ಸೂಜುಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ದುಂಡು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅಂದಾವರೆ ಮುಂದಾವರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ತಾವರೆ ಪುಷ್ಪ ಚಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಲೆ ಬಿಲ್ಪತ್ರೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಚಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಲೆ ಬಿಲ್ಪತ್ರೆ ತುಳಸಿದಲವ ಮಾದಪ್ಪನ ಪೂಜೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೋಜುಗಾದ ಸೂಜು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ದುಂಡು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸೋಜುಗಾದ ಸೂಜು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ದುಂಡು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ತಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಯೂನಿ ತುಪ್ಪವ ಕಾಯಿಸ್ಯೂನಿ ಕಿತ್ತಾಳೆ ಹಣ್ಣು ತಂದ್ಯೂನಿ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕಿತ್ತಾಳೆ ಹಣ್ಣ ತಂದ್ಯೂನಿ ಮಾದಪ್ಪ ಕಿತ್ತಾಡಿ ಬರುವ ಪರಿಸೆಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೋಜುಗಾದ ಸೂಜು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ದುಂಡು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸೋಜುಗಾದ ಸೂಜು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ದುಂಡು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬೆಟ್ ಹತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋರ್ಗೆ ಹಟಿ ಹಂಬಲವ್ಯಾಕ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ಮಾದೇವ ಗತಿಯಂದು ಮಾದೇವ ನೀವೇ ಮಾದೇವ ನೀವೇ ಮಾದೇವ ನೀವೇ ಬೆಟ್ ಹತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋರ್ಗೆ ಹಟಿ ಹಂಬಲವ್ಯಾಕ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ಮಾದೇವ ಗತಿಯಂದು ಮಾದೇವ ನೀವೇ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ಮಾದೇವ ಗತಿಯಂದು ಅವರಿನ್ನು ಹಟಿ ಹಂಬಲವ ಮರೆತಾರೋ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೋಜುಗಾದ ಸೂಜು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ದುಂಡು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸೋಜುಗಾದ ಸೂಜು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ದುಂಡು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಉಚ್ಚಳ್ಳು ಹೂವಂಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚೇವೋ ನಿನ್ನ ಪರುಸೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಳಗಾರ ಮಾದಯ್ಯ ಮಾದಯ್ಯ ನೀನೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಳಗಾರ ಮಾದಯ್ಯ ಎಳು ಮಲೆಯ ಹೆಚ್ಚ ಚೆವು ಕೌದಳ್ಳಿ ಕಣಿವೇಲಿ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೋಜುಗಾದ ಸೂಜು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ದುಂಡು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸೋಜುಗಾದ ಸೂಜು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಾದೇವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ದುಂಡು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ. Thank you.
Wow, Pavani, that was wonderful. You've got some amazing comments on the chat box. You should have a look at it. And it is really wonderful. And I think it was a blessing in disguise that the video didn't work, because the raw feel of that whole song came through. I hope all of you agree on that. You can show a clap of hands through your emoticons too, which is there on your screen. That would be wonderful. We move on to the next genre of music, film songs. So who doesn't like film songs? So let's play that song which Pratiksha has sung.
வசீகரா என் நெஞ்சினிக்கு உன் பொன்மடியில் தூங்கினால் போதும் அதே கணம் என் கண் உறங்க உன் ஜென்மங்களின் ஏக்கங்கள் தீரும் जरा जरा बहकता है महकता है आज तो मेरा तन बदन मैं प्यासी हूँ मुझे भर ले अपनी बाहों में है मेरी कसम तुझको जन्म दूर कहीं ना जान ये दूरी कहती है पास मेरे आ जा रे அடைமழை வரும் அதில் நினைவோமே குளிர் காய்ச்சலோடு ஸ்நேகம் ஒரு போர்வைக்குள் இரு தூக்கம் குழு குழு பொய்கள் சொல்லி என்னை வெல்வாய் அது தேரிடும் கூட அன்பே மனம் அதையேதான் எதிர்பார்க்கும் எங்கேயும் போகாமல் தினம் வீட்டிலேயே நீ வேண்டும் சில சமயம் விளையாட்டாய் உன் ஆடைக்குள் நான் வேண்டும் வசீகரா என் நெஞ்சினிக்கு உன் பொன்மடியில் தூங்கினால் போதும் அதே கணம் என் கண் உறங்க உன் ஜென்மங்களின் ஏக்கங்கள் தீரும்.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Pratiksha. And thank you for joining us live from Austin, Texas. And yeah, so now I have a question for the audience. So it's a simple question. Maybe Srinidhi Murali can answer it if she's willing to. Otherwise, she can type it out in the chat. But it's meant for everyone also. Who is a Carnatic musician who sang the song? And for which movie?
It's Bombay Jayashree and for Minale.
Fantastic. Full points to you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So so when you listen to such music, Vasigara, it's a romantic song, of course, but the beat is so different. It is so calming. So that is another feature. So you have another genre, right? Which film songs, so many songs, film songs, which give you different kinds of emotions. I encourage you to write it down. So at the end, I will probably ask some of you to read what you wrote, if you don't want to share it on the chat box. Next, we go to Sahana. Sahana is a grade 11 student pursuing music as a major at Kothra Park Secondary School. She's a Toronto-based aspiring singer, songwriter, and has been singing and writing since the age of 7. She's been trained in all types of genres like pop, classical, jazz, and Broadway. Apart from singing, Sahana has also been pursuing classical dance and piano since the age of 4. She's also released various pop singles, which includes Christmas pop song Time of the Year. So we wish her very well, and looking forward to yet another budding talent from Toronto soon. So let's go over to Sahana. Now for this song, I'm not going to tell you anything. Feel free to dance. Feel free to, I'm not going to say, just listen. Thank you.
Friday night and the lights are low, looking out for a place to go, where they play the right music, getting in the swing. You come to look for a king. Anybody could be that guy. Night is young and the music's high. With a bit of rock music, everything is fine. You're in the mood for a dance, and when you get the chance, you are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. Dancing queen, feel the beat from the tambourine. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. Ooh, see that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen. You're a teaser, you turn and on, leaving fine and then you're gone. Looking out for another, anyone will do. For a dance. And when you get the chance, you are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. Dancing queen, feel the beat from the tambourine. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. Ooh, see that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen. Thank you.
Wow, Sahana, fantastic, fantastic. You brought it alive. I'm sure many of them were dancing. I read the comment. People were dancing to this song, right? No need to ask questions about it. It's such a beautiful song. Sahana, how did you enjoy learning this song at such short notice? And did you like the sway and the beats of the song? How did you enjoy learning it?
I loved it. It's a pretty easy song to learn, and I've heard it a few times, of course, because it's such a popular song. And I enjoyed it so much because it's sort of relatable, because they mentioned the age of 17 and I'm 17. But it was a
Yes.
perfect song to sing tonight. Thank you so much for allowing me to participate in this.
Oh, we really enjoyed you singing it. Thank you so much. See, Dancing Queen is not only ABBA's most famous recording, but it's widely regarded as one of the all-time greatest pop songs. So at this juncture, I would like to call my good friend Ramesh Santanam, if he can unmute himself and if he's given permission to unmute. So this was some song which was in the late 70s. So what incidents or memories came up to your mind, and how did you enjoy it, Ramesh?
It really rolls me back on time. It brings back memories of playing cassette tapes and also LP records of this number.
Right.
And in the context of today's talk, invariably this song is to be blasted in the hostel rooms. And it's invariably after you do really badly in an exam or so, and it'll just cheer you up. So it was really good and very well rendered by Sahana. The fact that it's stood the test of time, right? It's still popular today. It's good.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Yes, music has always been a kind of a medicine which is non-intrusive to elevate your emotions and to bring you back, to cheer you up, as you rightly put it. Thank you so much for that. Sahana, please go and read the comments. You've got so many comments there. They all loved your song. So next we move on to poetry, and that's Pavani, who will be, I think she'll be sharing her screen, and she'll be sharing some poetry that she would like to say.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Namaste, everyone. Sorry, it's taking. I have a little technical difficulties. Okay, I hope you can see. Okay. Poetry. The first poem that I will be talking about today is called a phone poem. A phone poem consists of lines that have the same number of syllables as each digit of the phone number. And what I mean by this is if you take the three numbers 416, you would have the first line having 4 syllables, 1 syllable in the next, 6 in the next, and so on. Here is a phone poem that I've written. 647-534-3577 is a number that I've chosen. I'm going to recite the first line of the poem and teach you basically how to count syllables. Syllables are basically depend mostly on the number of vowels in the word, but sometimes there are exceptions. So I'm going to be clapping out the first line for you to show you how syllables work. So mothers, sweet, nice, and kind. That's going to be 6 syllables. Now I'm going to read the whole poem for you. Mothers, sweet, nice, and kind, help you a lot. They cheer you up when you are down, never let you frown. They love you, despite your flaws, make you smile, clean up your messy pile. They may not always give your way, but they love you anyways. So the next poem I'm going to be talking about is the partner poem. The partner poem is very similar to a limerick because of its funny stance, but it has a very different structure. Here are the very simple steps to making your own partner poem. The first thing to do is decide with your partner how many lines the poem should have. Then the next thing to do is choose a partner A and a partner B. Partner B, A writes all the odd numbers and B writes all the even numbered lines. Finally, you have to make sure after you're done writing all the lines that all the even numbers in the poem have to be rhyming with the line before it. So for example, basically all partner B's lines have to be rhyming with partner A's lines. Here's a phone poem that I've written. Cookies and chocolates. Wendell Wilkins loved food. All he did was chew, chew, chew. He would eat every moment in the day. He would always get his way. Wendell never ate anything healthy. His diet was very unhealthy. One day, he had to go to the doctor. His food choices shocked her. He was banned from eating junk. Wendell's mood stunk. He cried and protested, but nothing worked. But then he perked. He snuck cookies and chocolates in the night, and this diet wasn't all right. And soon he became like a balloon. He flew to the moon one afternoon. Thank you. So those are a few very simple poems that you can write yourself.
Pavani, that was wonderful. And it was so unique, the poems that you shared with us. And I'm sure everyone in the audience will agree with me that it is so nice to hear young, unique poems from a young mind. And Pavani, how long did you take to come up with this partner poem as part of your school project with your friend?
Actually, me and my friend, we were very confused at first, thinking about what to write about. Like, should we write about, I don't know, furniture, nature? We were very confused. And then recently in school, we've been talking about health and like how you should always eat healthy and healthy eating and so much like that. So we decided to make something funny about food because, well, it would be cool to do that, and since we're learning that in school, it would be also a nice reminder for our classmates to keep eating healthy, because one day you may become a balloon, but I don't think you fly to the moon. That's very unlikely, but you may become a balloon.
Okay, that's very sweet of you to share your thoughts. You know, that is really enlightening to know. And healthy choices, yeah, absolutely important for healthy living as well as we age. Thank you, Pavani, for sharing your thoughts. This brings me to the next idea that when we have so many languages in our country, we speak variety and we have different kinds of poems. But you know what? It'll be really a challenge to do this partner poem and the phone poem in Tamil or Kannada or Hindi. You know, you can try that. And that's a wonderful way to keep ourselves engaged, right? In a creative manner. So now, when we talk about grandparents always, whenever you think of them, you cherish them with a lot of love. And you always feel that the wonderful experience and the relationship you've had with your grandparent. So now let us hear young Dave, a 5th grader at Sheridan Park French Immersion School, share his experiences in art, which he learned from his dear grandma, Mrs. Rajeshwari Unikrishnan. Over to Dave.
My humble namaskaram to all of you. I will be talking about Kerala mural painting, a beautiful visual art of Kerala in India. I learned about this beautiful art from my grandma. I am sharing what I learned from her. Murals refer to paintings embellished on visual components like the wall, ceiling, or other huge lasting surfaces. The murals of Kerala stand out for their prominence in beauty, clarity, symmetry with unmatchable linear and circular accuracy. Kerala murals originally started being painted on cave walls and temple walls. These paintings usually depict the gods and goddesses of Hinduism. In Kerala, you can see a lot of mural paintings in temples like Guruvayur, the Vadakunnathan temple, the Sri Padmanabha Swami temple at Thiruvananthapuram, and so on. The scriptural basis of these paintings can be found in the Sanskrit texts Chitra Sutram, Tantra Samuchayam, Shilparatnam, etc. Chitra Sutram is a part of the Vishnu Dharmottara Purana, a book written in Sanskrit about 1,500 years ago. It contains 287 short verses in 9 chapters and a few prose in the 2nd chapter. Chitra Sutram explains about paintings in depth and is a useful book to understand the true Indian painting. Kerala murals consist of 7 colors: black, white, yellow, green, blue, red, and orange. Wood utensils are used for mixing the colors. The binding media used is derived from tender coconut water and extracts from the neem tree. All colors of this painting are made of natural elements. For example, the black color is derived from charcoal and the green color is derived from a leaf called Neelamari. Here is a Kerala mural painting which was painted in 2008 by my Ammama, Srimati Rajeshwari Unnikrishnan. My grandmother told me that this painting was finished in 2 months. In this particular painting, you can see Krishna and Radha enjoying the beautiful gardens of Vrindavan. You can see in the painting that there is a flute in Krishna's hand, there is water with a turtle swimming in it, flowers and plants, a beautiful looking peacock, and a big rock which Krishna and Radha are sitting on. You can also see Krishna and Radha wearing precious jewels and wearing crowns. Being inspired by this mural, I learned how to draw a painting of Krishna from my grandma before COVID. As you can see, it is a work in progress. You can move the picture. As you can see, it is a work in progress. I love both the Kerala mural painting and this painting of Krishna, which my grandma and I worked on, because it has so many details, colors, and is beautiful. I'm waiting to complete the picture with my dear grandma soon. Now I would like to conclude with a shlokam from the Bhagavad Gita, which I learned recently. I will also explain the meaning of the shlokam which I learned from my Amma. It is from chapter 2, verse 20. Na jayate mriyate va kadachita nayam bhutva bhavitavan bhuyaha ajo nityah shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. The meaning of this shlokam is, the soul is neither born nor does it ever die, nor having once existed does it ever cease to be. The soul is without birth, eternal, immortal, and ageless. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. My heartfelt thanks and respect to my music teacher, Srimati Sandhya Srivatsan, for giving me this opportunity to share some information about Kerala mural painting and present my grandma's beautiful work of art with all of you. Thank you. Namaste.
Dave, that was so splendid, what you shared with everyone. And I'm sure everyone learned so much about the Kerala mural painting from you, and including the Bhagavad Gita sloka, which you concluded with. It was very, very nicely presented. And I'm sure there are a lot of fingers flying fast on the chat box to appreciate your efforts. I would like to ask if you can ask, your grandmother, Mrs. Rajeshwari, I think she's in Rajesh Pisharadi. Sudha, if you see Rajesh Pisharadi, if you can unmute him.
She's good. Hello, everybody.
Yeah,
Hello.
Namaste. Namaste, Amma.
Namaste.
So very, very nice of you to have, shared your talent with your grandson, who so sweetly put it up together today. Dave has been such an adorable person.
Yes.
How was your experience with Dave? And you have been waiting to hug him this whole year, right?
Yes. He's sweetie. He's a sweetie boy.
I know. And so we wish you that, soon the second dose of vaccination will be done for you. And I hope you can meet Dave and I'm sure he'll be waiting to come and complete the picture along with you. Thank you so
she just
much.
got a second shot yesterday. So soon.
So soon. So wonderful. So have an enjoyable summer. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with Dave, which is so important because he's going to be the torchbearer of Kerala mural of what you've taught him. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Wonderful event.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you. Pleasure is mine. Thank you. So with that, I think it is time for us to take a small interlude, because I think Handicare has an information to share with all the viewers. So
thank you, Sandhya. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all enjoying this evening as much as I'm doing, dancing, learning about arts, and as well as about different genre of vocals we listened. And truly, again, we wanted to give you a little bit of enhanced experience along with when artists were singing. Bit of technology introduced. Unfortunately, it didn't work, but hats off to all our singers, and wonderful job. Thank you, Sandhya, for putting this show together. And quickly, from Handicare side, we would like to bring you all some information about this organization, and as well as what services we are doing. And my name is Sudha Vasu. I'm one of the board members as well as the directors in the Handicare board. And I would like to present to you today what our organization does through our website, like showing you some services, and as well as share a quick video where it shows what are the services that we are doing with our biggest partner in India, Amar Seva Sangam. So Handicare International is a registered Canadian charity that's been operating and servicing vulnerable communities for over 3 decades in Canada. And our biggest partner in India is Amar Seva Sangam, located in Tenkasi, Tamil Nadu, India, but we have branches in other places as well in India, mainly focusing on the vulnerable communities. And Handicare's focus is mainly on the program of early intervention focused on young children, very young children who have challenges, either physically, mentally, or otherwise. So we train them through different rehabilitation services, through the donations. It's 100% volunteer organization. So we are all volunteers here. I would like to now share my screen, take a minute to share my screen and show you the website, what our organization does, and then also share a short video. Hope you all can see my screen. Our website is www.handicareintl.org. Here you will see different services what we are providing through our partners, and also as well as services provided in Canada as well. So a couple of quick points I would like everyone to note here, what our organization's immediate and current support where we are focusing on is, of course, the COVID emergency, where we are accepting donations for COVID relief operations. And we have jointly doing this through our biggest partner, Amar Seva Sangam in India, providing various, what you can see here on the websites, providing them the beds, the oxygen cylinders, and the groceries, even food and other things for the vulnerable communities. They are most affected by this pandemic as well. And another major program, what we are doing this year, and also one of our major focuses in the early intervention area. And what you are seeing here on our website is the Sponsor 100. And this year we are truly aiming to get 100 children that are listed in the waiting list for our program to be sponsored. And with as little as $35 per month, you all can support and transforming a child's life, truly, as these child will get rehabilitation services through our physiotherapy, speech therapist, everybody from Amar Seva Sangam team, and they will be integrated slowly into the mainstream, and where these kids can start the regular schooling at some point. So your donations are geared towards all those services. And you can see more information here from our website. When you go here, you will see the waiting list. When you click on that, you will see the children that are listed and waiting for to get sponsored. And we hope you all can go through the website, take some information, and then hoping and looking forward to any support in any which way that you can help us with. And I would like to quickly share a video of the organization.
Transform the lives of people with special needs and to empower them to live life to the fullest. With this aim, a group of enthusiastic volunteers established Handicare International in 1992, a registered Canadian charity. Since then, the organization has been working relentlessly towards providing rehabilitation and education and empowering disadvantaged persons in rural India. Handicare International has donated close to $2 million towards reaching this goal. With almost 3 decades of inspiring success, today Handicare can proudly acknowledge that through its various sponsorship programs, it has been able to transform more than 4,000 lives. In India, Amar Seva Sangam has been Handicare International's largest partner. A highly reputed and committed registered charity by the disabled for the disabled, Amar Seva Sangam is run by 2 ordinary yet extraordinary men, Mr. S. Ramakrishnan, the president, and Mr. S. Shankararaman, the secretary and driving force of the organization. Since its inception, Handicare International has implemented innovative initiatives in Amar Seva Sangam. For example, the Adopt a Child program, Handicare International's oldest and most successful program, has helped over 750 children with physical and intellectual disabilities to receive food, clothing, medical care, and rehabilitation, as well as education in a barrier-free environment.
Thank you, and hope you all had some information from the about the organization. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. It's info@handicareintl.org or communication@handicareintl.org. These are our emails. You can reach out to me from the Zoom link where you received, and we will be very happy to provide you with additional information. And thank you very much. Sandhya, thank you really very much for giving us this break to present about the organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudha. Thank you very much, Sudha, for sharing that information. Many of the people on the call may not be aware, and it is really important that each one of us do a little bit, as I say, a drop in the ocean for such a huge service that Handicare International is providing for Amar Seva Sangh. It's indeed an honor to be a part of it. So now we come to the next segment of this, the last segment of the presentation. How can I be without Carnatic music, which is part and parcel of me, so very important to me. So we have 3 age demographic artists who will play short songs and rhythms. So I tried to use instrumentalists for this. So in Carnatic music, instrumentalists play a great role in enhancing a vocal concert. We have seen during our earlier presentations like Giridhara Gopala or even the folk song, when percussion or string instruments, nothing was accompanying them. But instrumentalists, when they are added on in a kacheri or in a concert, they give a boost. You can feel the difference when instrumentalists play with instrumentalists play also without any other support of Pakavadyam. Like for example, you will be now listening to a veena, a flautist, and on Mridangam, you'll have Shiva playing some rhythms for you, and which he will explain. So what I would like you to do as an audience is you feel the difference when the instrumentalists play without any other support of Pakavadyam. So that is also another difference. So apart from feeling the emotions, what you feel or when you watch it or when you hear it, and then you can type it in the chat. And as I said, please jot it down on the paper and we will come to the Q&A when I will ask you the questions. So for the first thing, I would like to, the first instrumentalist is I welcome the talented senior, Srimati Rama Rajan, who's a vocalist and a veena player. She studied in Mysore University. Her first teacher was her mother, who encouraged her to learn music. She has a postgraduate in Kannada literature and BA degree in music. She then continued her music journey in a higher level of music, learning from Professor Gauri Kuppaswamy, who is a disciple of the great GNB, and earned Vidwat proficiency degree. Rama teaches many students both vocal and veena. Namaskaram, Rama Auntie. It's a pleasure and a privilege to hear you today for this afternoon's program. Over to you.
Hello. Namaskarams to everyone. I'm Rama, playing veena, Redel veena.
Namaste, Auntie. It was wonderful. Thank you so much. I wish you could play some more. I have a question to ask you. If you have always, the veena which you played was on a radal veena. How much do you miss? Is it so different? How has the experience been?
Yeah, I miss very much. Saraswati Veena is divine. There is no match for that Veena.
Absolutely.
But for convenience sake, we are all have adopted this. For convenience and for the nice sound, we get this.
Yes.
In this Veena.
Yes.
Radal Veena.
Yes.
But no match for that Saraswati Veena.
So what type of Saraswati Veena did you have? I know there are different kinds, Tanjavur Veena, Mysore Veena.
I am having one. I practice in that, and for the programs, I use this Veena.
Okay, very good, very good.
But my practice is in Saraswati Veena only.
I'm sorry, I'm switching to
Thank
Tamil.
you very much.
Romba
Thank you,
sandosham.
everyone.
I wish I could ask you to play more, and I'm so sorry about that video that didn't play up. I put you through a lot of shramam. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for being such a sport to join us today. Thank you so much. So we move on to the next participant, who's a flautist, and his name is Ashwin. Sri Ashwin Raghu hails from a family of well-known musicians. He got his initial flute training and lessons from his grandfather and Guru Sri L. Sundaram, father of Sri S. Raghu and Sri S. Ravi flautists, who are more popularly known as Madras Brothers. Ashwin is a software engineer by profession, and he finds time to pursue his art despite a hectic lifestyle of parenting young children. Now, before we go on to Ashwin, I would like people to write in the chat box whether they guessed the ragams which Mrs. Rama played. So that would be nice. I purposely didn't announce all that so that I wanted you to guess it. So in the Q&A session, I will ask you that. Thank you. Over to Ashwin. Welcome, Ashwin. absolute bliss. It was fantastic. You just brought us all in a mood of tranquility with your Ananda Bhairavi. Almost as soon as you played it, immediately they were all chat box. They were all opened it up and they said Ananda Bhairavi. And there was a lot of comments for your Kapi and especially your transition to Kadal Rojave. Very, very nice, Ashwin. It really set in the mood for the for all of us to quieten down into the evening mode. Thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate you being part of this program.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you. So after this, the choice of ragas were for a reason, because we wanted to highlight how Carnatic music ragas are used immensely in film music as well. Now we go on to the percussion, which is, I'm very happy to introduce Shiva. Shiva Mahadevan has been learning Mridangam for the past 16 years under Mridanga Jyoti Sri Ramana Indra Kumar and completed his Arangetram in August 2015. He has accompanied many artists in the Greater Toronto area while regularly performing for Bharatanatyam Arangetrams and local concerts at various temples across the region, including Gaanavarshini. He also won first place in both the senior percussion and senior accompaniment categories at the 40th Cleveland Tyagaraja Aradhana. He has been teaching Mridangam for younger students in the Waterloo region under his guru's music school, the Chandam Institute of Percussive Studies. Academically, he graduated with a bachelor's in mathematics and computer science from the University of Waterloo and is currently working as a software engineer for NVIDIA. And so over to Shiva, who will explain what he's going to present. Over to you.
Namaskaram, Auntie, and namaskaram, everyone. As she mentioned, I'm a student of Sri Ramana Indra Kumar Master. And our Bani of Mridangam is actually stemming from the legendary Sri Karikodi Mani sir. And I wanted to showcase one of the beautiful patterns that I saw him playing in one of his older concerts. The idea behind this pattern is to showcase the gradual changes between nades. And if for everyone who doesn't know what nades are, basically it's a manipulation of the number of subdivisions inside of a beat. So if you're putting talam like this, there are subdivisions in every single beat. And the point of this performance is to gradually, almost like a staircase, flow through each nade from 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 subdivisions, all the way back down to 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4. Normally, this isn't done in a concert. You'll see kind of an elevator taken. Usually you'll play in the Chaturashra nade, or in four subdivisions. And then you'll go straight into your nade of choice and then come straight into Male Kalam, which is the higher speed of the same Chaturashra nade. I want to showcase this beautiful pattern played by the legend himself. And I'll be just attempting here as a student of music, but I hope you'll all appreciate this and enjoy, especially in the theme of creative living, where we can slowly take that staircase with grace, control, and comfort. So please, if you could play my pre-recorded program, that would be very nice here.
That was just amazing. I don't have words to explain. Yeah, we definitely enjoyed it. I'm sure if you see the chat box, you will know. And the thing which came to my mind, I think I'm getting an echo. I don't know why.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry, yeah, that would be me probably. Let me get my headphones in.
Yes, Auntie.
Yeah, your absolute, the control of the lime was fully there throughout your presentation. And I'm sure after listening to you, people will really enjoy Tani Avartanams in future.
Oh, thanks, Auntie.
So.
Yes, I hope. I mean, as I enjoyed from the legend himself, that's how I, got inspiration to play this as well.
Right. So much of joy that Mridangam beats give us. It's that sheer joy, and drummazing is also a part of music therapy. A lot of people use drums, and we have to soon start using Mridangam. We have so much in our tradition that we can use it for music therapy. Thank you so much, Shiva, for joining us this afternoon. Thank you very much. We've come to the very last program. I hope you have a few minutes to listen to my song. I will be concluding it with a abhang, and I hope you will enjoy it. And this, kindly bear if there is any technical glitches. Can you hear me? Is it okay? It's an abhang by Sri Tukaram. Sada maze dola zado tuze murti rakumai chapati soyariya sada maze dola zado tuze murti Rakhumai chapati soyariya God tuze roop God tuze nama God tuze roop God tuze nama Dei maj prema seva kala Dei maj prema seva kala sada maze dola Vitoma volia, Vitoma volia, Hachi veride, Vitoma volia, Hachi veride, Sanchero nirahi, Hridayi Sancharo nirahi Hridayi maja sada maje rola sado tuze murti rakhumai chapati soyariya tu kamane kaina magonika tu kamane kaina tu kamane tu kamane kaina magonika तुझे पाई सब सचाए तुझे पाई सब सचाए सदा माझे डोला जडो तुझे मूर्ती रखूं माई छापती सोयरिया रखूं माई छापती सोया रेया Thank you very much, Handicare International. I am very much grateful to my parents, my gurus, and my family for always being there for me during my journey. And I would like to thank each one of you who joined in today to support Handicare International for a very, very noble cause. And would really appreciate if each one of you could open up your hearts and your wallets to donate generously for a great cause. And please accept our sincere apologies for any glitches or for any mistakes that could have happened during the course of the program. Thank you very much.
Sandhya, are we having a Q&A now or?
Yeah, time permitting. I don't know how we are on time. That's why I did not start with Q&A. Is it okay? If everybody is okay, that's fine. First of all, anybody who has written it on paper, I would like to give them the preference because we don't see it on the chat. If somebody has written it on the paper and if they would like to share, they can unmute themselves. Anybody?
Lots of people came up with the answers for the ragas
Okay.
on the chat though.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I think pretty much that we had a very knowledgeable audience out there. And I'm sure I think we have to, if they have any questions or any thing, they can always email me at gaanavarshini2015@gmail.com. I'll put it out there, and maybe if anybody wants to contact Mrs. Geeta Shankaran or Mrs. Sulochana, you could get it. I remember that Sudha Subbanna was there, the dentist, who wanted to share a few things as to how music helps her in her practice. So Sudha, I think I see you there. You can unmute yourself and share your thoughts.
Namaskara, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank God for Zoom. Now we can talk now. Okay. Yeah, the program was very beautiful. I love identifying ragas, so I really enjoyed that part. I'm a dentist and I use music therapy like almost routinely. So I work with a lot of medically compromised patients, young children, autism, and a lot of behavior management I do. So I do sedation, along with it I do music therapy, so it's like almost puts them to sleep in a kind of a trance. So and they all feel good actually. Even some adults ask me, can you sing for me? So I just sing Indian classical music. Of course I don't sing the syllables, so something funny that happened. I want to share that with you. So one patient with sedation for extraction, I was singing. Her blood pressure was very high. So I was doing multiple extractions. So when I was singing and with the sedation, her blood pressure came down and she was calm and I did it. And the next time she came, she asked me, what is this you were singing last time? And I said, I was singing Indian classical music, but what is is there any lyrics to it? She asked me. I said, yes, there is lyrics, but you would not understand what if I tell you. So I just, I was doing akaram. So I was doing akaram and singing. So she said that song was so much in my head. I was singing all the way back home, and my husband asked me, "What are you humming all this time?" So yeah, but I think not to boast that too much, but I think it has some place, and I think it has helped some patients, and I'm very happy that I can use it. Very grateful to God for giving me that musical skill a little bit to share with people and help people around. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sudha, for sharing that invaluable thought, because there are many medical practitioners today at a loss to how to cope with this whole pandemic and surgeries and all that, which are all being put off. So with your information, I'm sure a lot of people would like to try out that as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I have one comment on the same subject. Can I share that?
Sure.
At Amar Seva Sangam, where we are giving therapies, all kinds of therapies to more than 2,000 children with challenges like autism, cerebral palsy, and all that, music therapy is a mainstay. It's like especially children with autism, sometimes they are emotionally so distraught and it's very hard to keep them under control. But we find music immediately calms them down. And many of them start singing. I'm sure Geeta has witnessed it when she has visited us many times. So we have teachers like professional musicians and singers who visit the organization often and provide the music therapy and also teach bhajans. All the children at Amar Seva Sangam regularly sing bhajans as a form of prayers and as a form of keeping them mentally alert and fit and happy through the whole day. Music has an immense value, and thank you so much for bringing out the highlights and the high notes of what music can do to us. It's very beautiful program, very well done. The vote of thanks is waiting for you, but I just had to get this in. And so the, addressing to others, Sandhya has been talking about doing something for Handicare for a long time. She had even planned a stage program last year, and then the pandemic washed it all out. And now this program was very well thought about. And I can see the many hats coming out at the same time. Her research hat, her creativity hat, her imagination, her organization skills, everything came through, and it was an excellent program. Thank you so much, Sandhya. And thanks all of you for coming out today. And
thank you, Mami, for your blessings and your good wishes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now over to Geeta.
Thank you, Sulo. Sulochana has just had a second shot, but even that couldn't keep her away. I'm so glad you were able to join us. Otherwise, you would have missed a very fantastic show. It was just magical, Sandhya. I love the way you put things together. I love the way you chose your artists. I mean, they are so varied, such different skill sets, and all of them so talented. It is a beautiful program. I hope I remember everybody's name. Alana, Ashwin, Dev, Pradiksha, Pavani, Mrs. Rama Rajan, Shiva, and Sahana. That was an awesome team. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed the show, and it was not just enjoying the music. There was one level of enjoyment of music. There was also the other level of Sandhya's lesson coming through to us, that yes, arts can really change your life. We will all be changed from today. I should also thank our tech team, Vasu and Sudha. I know they had a very difficult evening today, but these things happen. The important thing is the show went on. Thank you so much. And last but not least, I have to thank this audience. They came right up with answers, very knowledgeable and very enthusiastic in their participation, and they were full of praise for all the artists. This is like the dream audience that every artist wants.
Absolutely.
All in all, a fantastic evening, and thank you everyone for making this happen. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much.